Big Drive Energy, Signature Sunday, the Memorial, the same shit. Somebody goes, "Did you watch the golf tournament? Do you know what happened?" I said, "Yeah, the same shit. That happens every single week at any big event."
I didn't really watch, and I already know what happened.
And we knew the outcome. We'll get to that. We'll get to some more storylines from Jack's Place and everything else from this weekend's signature event with Scottie Scheffler taking it home in 30. Big Drive Energy Sunday, Siggy Sunday edition. Scottie Scheffler takes it home again at the Memorial because the guy's a G. And you know who's even more of a G is you, because you had him in the one and done. I will look at that email to cheer you on tomorrow because that's how good of a brother I am. Because I'm swimming. I'm so deep in the fucking deep end that I can't get out. Matt Fitzpatrick shot like 5 under today and finished 4 over, and I think like in the T30s. So, yeehaw for me.
Made
But
another
you're
like
taking
20,
home
30 grand.
Yeah, you're taking home a crisp $4 million in the one and done. And Scottie Scheffler, man, there's not much more to say.
No, there isn't. I pressed the Scottie button, and Scottie did what Scottie was supposed to do. So
yeah, I pressed the Scottie button in the Masters. Unfortunately, that's when I was like, I have to press it now, because he normally, we'll get into this, but like he is dominant. I think his 16th win since we watched him win at the Waste Management 3 to 4 years ago. But he's very much a win the same tournaments he's already won kind of guy. Like, I don't know the exact stat off the top of my head, but I believe at least 6 or 7 of his wins are going back to back or with winning the same tournament 2 of the last 3 years.
Yeah, I think he's defended. I don't have the tweet on me, so I can't refer back. But I think he's defended the second most tournaments in one season behind Tiger. So it's basically, we're seeing, I don't even know what to compare it to, but it's just everything since Tiger. Like and he is a long way to go. That is the insane part, which, you know, it's been discussed throughout golf, but it's just hard to wrap your head around how long Tiger did it for, because he did it for a real solid like 12 to 15 years. And golf, perfect example is Ben Griffin. Like, any of these guys on the PGA Tour can come out and play really, really world-class golf for 2 to 3 events in a year and finish top 5, get a W, whatever. But to do it week in and week out, and just and year in and year out. Now this is kind of year 3 of Scottie just running the fucking show. It truly is like insane. He just has to do this, like multiply this times 5, and then he'll be where Tiger was in the early to mid 2000s. So yeah, I had Scottie in the one and done. That felt really good. I did say that I was going to deactivate my Twitter account. And I was already thinking of ways to have an out there, like, oh, I'll deactivate my Twitter because this is X now. Like, it's not Twitter anymore. There's multiple things I was trying to get around. But it just, and I don't know if you paid attention to the round at all or not. Obviously, we look at our phones all the time, and so you see shit all over social media. But there was I never fully thought that Ben Griffin was going to come back, but there was a point where I think it was the 11th hole, the par 5. Scottie had like 15 feet for birdie, and Ben Griffin had 5 feet for birdie, and he was only 1 shot ahead at the time. And I was like, Ben's about to tie this up. Scottie makes the 15-footer. Ben Griffin misses the 5-footer. And he goes from 1 shot to 2 shots when it should have been evened up at that point. And then, I mean, Griffin went 3 under on the par 5 I think 15, 16 on the back nine to make it a tournament. But then ultimately he bogeyed 17 and Scottie just did Scottie things. And he's got to be the most frustrating player for all the other guys to play against because in all honesty, this was probably the most fun week I've had rooting for Scottie, obviously, because I had a vested interest. But there's no dude you feel more comfortable rooting for than that guy. Like, I at no point was like, Scottie's really going to do this to me. You know, I was at no point was I trying to cope. I'm like, he's winning this fucking golf tournament. No questions asked. When there was only 12 dudes under par for the entire week, he fires nine. Was it 9 under was the winning score?
10.
Okay, so he got it to 10. The and Ben Griffin's out driving him, and Ben Griffin is like, he's a longer player, but he's not a real long player. And Scottie, his short game is phenomenal. He started to make a few putts. Like, if this dude's making putts, it's even better than Rory. It truly, Scottie's good is better than Rory's good, because great is better than Rory's great, because Scottie just doesn't make mistakes. Rory's got a higher ceiling, but Scottie just, it feels like he could play 72 holes bogey free. And I've been rambling about Scottie, and maybe this week kind of brought me around on him. But it was just a masterclass. It's getting hard to come up with new things to say about what he's doing.
Yeah, well, here's a graphic for everyone that you've probably seen on Twitter. And this is near and dear to our hearts. You were actually at the Rockies game today, not intentionally and not because of the Rockies and not because you're a
No,
fan.
Yeah.
But Scottie Scheffler has just as many wins in 4 tournaments played as the Rockies have since May 2nd with 28 games played. So it's rough out year for a Rockies fan, not rough if you're a Scottie fan. And really, where he won the tournament is, we've talked about it, and I'll say it again because we're going to keep talking, finding different ways to talk about this guy, is he won the tournament yesterday on Saturday, where he made 13 straight pars to start the round. And you're thinking, okay, I mean, Ben Griffin 2 weeks ago, you would have thought had no shot. But that's what's funny about the PGA Tour is once Ben Griffin had won, I mean, the team event is the team event, and that's a win on your PGA Tour card. That's a, extended 2 years of your service time. That's money in your pocket as a winner, and you go down in the record books as having a PGA Tour win. But until you win one on your own, nobody believes in you, and that's just a fact. And Scottie makes nobody believe in anyone at this point. But you take him out of it, and you look at any PGA Tour leaderboard. Like, Scottie's off hanging out with his wife, his best friend, and his son for a week. And
His son who shit up his back.
Yeah, it happens. Trust me. I changed a big shit up the back about an hour ago at this brewery. But when you look at a PGA Tour leaderboard as a golf fan, you look at, okay, the top 5 going into Sunday, who's won an event before? And that's the guy you believe in. And it's not necessarily that they're going to win it, but that's the guy that if you had to put your money down, you're going to put your money down on. Scottie, on the other hand, yes, Ben Griffin was up there. Yes, Nick Taylor was up there. Played some great golf this whole week. Sepp Straka, shout out my boy Sepp Straka. I had him plus 650 in the top 5. Boom, boom. Big dub for him. Shot 8 under on the weekend to get down to a solo dolo 3 for the bald man. But the Scottie Scheffler does not come back from deficits, and we just kind of know that. He's just not his game. He's a boa constrictor. He gets a lead and he hangs onto it. He squeezes the life out of it. And that's why he won the tournament yesterday, where he made 13 straight pars on a Saturday, Jack's Place, tough course. And let me say this, I know the birdies are fun and they're fun for the general public, but courses where a winner is 10 under and a bunch of dudes are struggling to just stay even par or below par is so much more fun to watch throughout a whole 4-day period, because any moment, see Griffin, Ben on 17 makes a double and takes himself completely out of it. He makes birdie there. He's maybe one back, depending upon where Scottie's at. But if it's Scottie, you just have no chance. But Scottie Scheffler, after parring 13 straight holes yesterday, goes 4 under in his last 5 holes at this insane golf course when nobody's making a ton of birdies other than one random dude each day. Yesterday was Sepp Straka with a 66. 6 under par. Today, Brandt Snedeker randomly just turned the clock back for a minute and shot 7
Dude.
under and got himself a top 10.
And
But nobody's doing.
that was with 2 bogeys. Brandt could have shot, and nobody even touched. What the next closest round was, I want to say 5 under, but it was not an easy day by any means. And okay, so Ludwig Aubert shot 6 under, but he was +7 to start the day. So, I guess it's relevant, but not as relevant. Like Brandt Snedeker was the only guy that finished under par. That let's see, nobody else shot more than 2 under. He was the only guy under par that shot 2 under on Sunday, or more than 2 under. So Brandt Snedeker is like 380th in the world. Somehow he got a sponsors exemption into this event, probably because he's next year's President's Cup captain. I would assume that's why, or he's just good buddies with Jack Nicklaus. Maybe Brandt, when he doesn't want to play in Jack's tournament, he gives him a call up and says, "Hey, I'm not going to play this week. I'm sorry, I'm not showing up." Unlike somebody else from Northern Ireland who just doesn't tell anybody, doesn't show up to a signature event, and just goes, "Fuck Jack Nicklaus." Rory McIlroy, piece of shit. I'm just kidding. He's not a piece of shit, but real quick, let's talk about the Rory thing, because he has not talked to the media in weeks. He then doesn't call Jack Nicklaus to say that he's not playing in the Memorial, which has been a staple on tour for years and years. Obviously, Jack is the most respected, historic player, 50 plus years ago to now. Is Rory, what do you think is behind this? Is Rory just like, I don't give a fuck because I now have the Grand Slam? Or is it he feels like the scorn dude that got put up on the pedestal by the PGA Tour to do all this carrying of the torch for the PGA Tour, and then they come out and make this structure, this framework deal with Liv? Like, does he feel burned by that? What do you think it is? Because I really don't know what Rory's deal is, and there's times when I want to like him, and I just don't think he's that likable of a guy. Like, it's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, I think to me, it's just poopy pants. That's the only word I can think of that is, he's just very poopy pants about when he wins, it's so fun for the game of golf, so fun for the fans, it's fun for him. And then when he doesn't win, like at the PGA Championship, or plays like shit at a place he's quote unquote supposed to win, or he's the favorite, or it's at Rory McIlroy Country Club, he turns into an immediate heel. And like, there's no in between with him. There's no show up, play decent, and have an okay week on tour, a life-changing week on tour for half of the field that's playing in that same event, and being happy about it. It's all or nothing with him. And I mean, if you're a PGA Tour fan and you'd say you're still a Rory fan over Scottie Scheffler at this point, in terms of not only his play on the golf course or his demeanor, whatever. And we've called Scottie boring a million times. He's still boring, but at the same time, sometimes he'll just come out and say, I don't have it. And yeah, he got a little poopy pants at the PGA Championship, talking about the not playing the ball up and things like that. But overall, these golfers are prideful in their game. And
See,
Rory
I don't think that's poopy pants by Scottie. I definitely think Rory gets, and maybe it's just because Scottie's current form is so good that you take what he says and you actually are like, okay, if Scottie's saying it, then it truly holds weight. And maybe just because Rory has kind of cried wolf in the past, where he is poopy pants because he's not playing well, and then he calls something out and you kind of feel like it shouldn't have happened. And I mean, there's been weeks where he's called, I guess the week that the whole Live deal went down, he went out and won the Canadian Open. So that was kind of, put my flag in the ground. Like, I'm still the fucking man, blah, 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 stick it to the PGA Tour. But I feel like it's different when Scottie says something, and maybe that's just my current feelings about the two different players, but I take it differently. If Scottie and Rory were to come out and say the same thing, I would think that Scottie had a different intention behind it than Rory had, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, Scottie doesn't seem to be the guy that's going to come out and he may be upset because these are professional athletes and they're trying to do the best they can at their craft every single week. And I mean, it feels like it happens every single week for Scottie, but if you go back through this whole season, he's only won 3 times. And I know it's insane to say, but he's the best player every time he steps on the golf course in the world. And so theoretically, if you grew up watching Tiger Woods, he was winning at almost every single tournament he stepped into the ropes on. And so when Scottie doesn't win, you're kind of shook by that. But when Rory doesn't win, there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh yeah, he deserved to not win. And then there's a lot of people that are like, I can't believe Rory was so bad. And if you really do pay attention, you understand that Rory is as hot as anyone in the world, but his cold is just as cold. And I don't think Scottie, I mean, Scottie's house, the heat's got to be at like 80 all the time. I don't think that guy knows what cold is. He knows
No.
what boring and making pars is, but I don't. Maybe I'm just blocking it out because of his greatness the last 3 years, basically since we started doing this podcast, essentially, and went to our first. I don't know if it was the first Waste Management we covered or the second one, which was his first win on tour, and he's been the guy since then. And so ever since we've done this podcast, it's like we've even been roller coaster on him, like, hey, we fucking hate this guy. This guy's boring. Now it's like you just truly revel in his greatness. And you did talk about it earlier of how much further he's got to go to get to Tiger. It's a lot, but you can't argue that the start of his career, which is a little late for compared to Tiger, but where his hot is right now and how many tournaments he's winning and the type of tournaments he's winning. Yes, he won the Valero Texas or whatever the fuck it was and just made it a laugher, but he's also winning signature events. He's winning majors. It's just he's unstoppable right now in
Yeah.
every event. He's the big game hunter that's actually taking them home. He's not Brooks Koepka being a big game hunter and then shooting 82. He's big game hunting, winning small events that he plays in, winning signature events that he plays in, and also should be the favorite at. I mean, I will say this: I don't think he's ever going to win a Open Championship, and that's just me being maybe hot take guy. I just don't think his game necessarily fits it because I think there's so many good Europeans that are used to playing those courses that I don't think he's that good that can win a tournament like that. And he is good enough to win it.
He's
Let me
gonna
say
win
that.
it this year. Now that
I
you
hope
said
so.
that, he's gonna
I
win
hope
it
that
this
I'm
year.
wrong, but I really don't think. I think his career is going to be made up of just making his hay at Augusta, winning the PGA Championship against a bunch of me's, and and then having a shot at every U.S. Open just because he is so accurate. And did you see how I saw this? Oh, I sent it to you, so you did see it, unless you just didn't read my text. But so this is from first time in PGA Tour history. Oh, it got deleted. It may have been wrong info.
How did you
Uh,
see it initially and then it disappeared?
I don't know. PGA Tour deleted it.
Because that's PG. That's the wrong PGA. Like that's
I
a.
know it's not the actual PGA Tour,
You think it was real though, or
but I don't.
did you get got on the internet again?
Well, maybe they just were incorrect in saying
I've been
that.
getting got a lot lately, so I don't blame you.
All right, let me. Well, you go
Well,
talk now because I'm thrown off by this tweet being deleted.
no. What I was going to ask you. So you, and it's a Sunday night. There wasn't a whole lot else going on. But would you give me your number? You said he wouldn't win a British Open. Does he complete the Grand Slam and break it down by major? How many US Opens, Masters, PGA Championships, and British Opens, Open Championships do you think Scottie wins in his career when it's all said and done?
All said and done, I'd say all said and done, he has 5 Masters. He has
A lot.
3 PGA Championships. He has 2 US Opens and 0 Open Championships. So 10 total majors for his career with 0 Open Championships. Let's remember this clip for the Open Championship in a couple of months here in July. I don't think, I just think it's too niche of a game and too many players right now that are really good on the PGA Tour and competing week after week grew up playing that style of golf. For him to, he's still going to be the best player there, but a major, you have to have your best every single day, and you have to play a certain style of game. And I'm not saying he can't do that, but I think somebody else will randomly have their best at an Open Championship. I mean, this year we talked about Rory. This is at Rory's home course. Colin Morikawa's won an Open Championship just because his iron play is so good, and Scottie's is just as good. But we talk about how dialed he is, and if I were to ask you, and I'll just ask you because I think you'll give me the answer I need, is what is he the absolute best at that you've ever seen? What have you said on this podcast, Scottie Scheffler? What is the one thing that he is just absolute nails at?
Yeah, his distance control is far and away better than anyone that I've ever personally witnessed, but he does hit a high ball. He's an American golfer. He hits a high ball that just is on a fucking string, but a lot of times at the British Open, I'm going to keep calling it that. I don't give a fuck. We've done this a million times. I think he'll win one or two. I do think he will win one or two, but it'll probably be the major he wins the least, I would say. So I'm just gonna throw my number out there. This is a great clip, but who the fuck knows what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna say he wins 4 Masters, 4 PGA Championships, 3 US Opens, and 2 Open Championships.
So 13.
Yeah.
So 2 shy of Tiger.
Yeah.
5 shy of Jack.
Yep. I think he will get lucky 13. That's just, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I just put that together in my head. But I do think that the Open Championship will be the least won major of his, because the American game and the European game are just so different, like you mentioned. But I mean, you look at a guy like Ludwig Aubert, who's European. I think we need to stop breaking down games into PGA Tour game or into Americans games versus Europeans games. I think we need to break it down into like TrackMan players versus like more field players. And I'm not saying that like Scottie around the green is a fantastic field player. He's one of the best chippers out there. But I would say iron game, he is just so dialed in on the numbers, and he's always his distance control, once again, the best I've ever seen. But he's very much of the TrackMan era where he knows exactly all of his numbers at all times. He's not hitting a lot of different flights. He's hitting everything high no matter what, because on the PGA Tour that works. But on the other side of that, he grew up in Texas playing in the wind. Texas, if you're going to grow up anywhere in America that is close to European courses, Irish, Scottish, English courses, I would probably say it's Texas. It's dry, it's firm, it's windy. Like I could see him getting that dialed in, but I don't know. It's just I guess we don't have a big enough sample size yet. So I don't want to stick my foot in my mouth, but he's obviously very capable of doing it. And I mean, you got to mention as well that I think if the PGA Tour and LIV get something done, I think that could change the dynamic of the hierarchy on the PGA Tour. And, if Jon Rahm's back on the PGA Tour, I do think that would help him probably win more majors when he's competing more against the PGA Tour guys week in, week out. And a few of the other dudes like Joaquin Neiman, maybe he breaks through. I don't know. Maybe there's just so many variables at this point, but I just thought it'd be a fun exercise to throw out how many majors we think. And we're just prisoners of the moment as well. Like this dude right now looks like he could win 30 majors. If you told me he won every major for the next 7 years, I'd be like, sure. Like, yeah. I'm not going to say no. So it is a prisoner of the moment, but his putter is the only thing. Like when you said he doesn't know what cold is, his putter is really the only thing that has ever seen cold on the PGA Tour. Other than that, his driving is just it's just consistent. And the more he wins, the stronger he gets. He's like, I don't know if that's like some character on the fucking. Thanos. Yeah. Okay.
The more Infinity Stones he keeps taking, the stronger he keeps getting.
Yeah, and because look at Ben Griffin this week, like he just won last week. Technically, he's the hottest fucking guy on the PGA Tour. Played a fantastic round on Friday, put himself in or Thursday and Friday, put himself in a great position. But he's only won once, and he has come on very strong. Obviously, in these last couple months, he's won 3 times now, or
Two times, one and
twice.
a half times.
Well, yes, the Zurich, whatever, but I would consider that a W. But the weight of this tournament meant so much more to Ben Griffin than it meant to Scottie Scheffler. Like Scottie, there was no need for him to press. He's like, I've been here, I've done that. And the more he does that, the harder it's going to be for any dude that's not him to come out and win in that environment.
Yeah, I mean, he like we talked about earlier, when he's in the lead, it takes an otherworldly effort from somebody that's probably, unless the leaderboard is Scottie, Rory, I don't even know who else to put in that category right now. Ludwig Aubert are guys that have just really shown it on the PGA Tour, especially this year. I mean, Ben Griffin taking the lead and being up that close, you still felt like the dude never had a shot, and it sucks. It sucks for Ben Griffin. I mean, Ben Griffin right now is just absolutely cooking, though, for where his career was 3 to 4 years ago to where he is now, and just the way he acts and his I don't
His
know, just
demeanor.
his
Yeah,
demeanor is so much like Scotty's, where it's like until Scotty won, he was just this nobody guy, and you never know when the next Scotty's going to roll around. But like you said, we're a prisoner of the moment. But it feels like we've been such a prisoner of the moment for 3 to 4 years now that it's turning into a full on habit and a prisoner
yeah.
of a career versus just a moment anymore, is what it feels like.
Yeah, you at this point, I don't want to be on the wrong side of history. I hated on Scotty enough, and it's his personality still, the boring bullshit that it's nothing that exciting. But watching him play golf is just something that it should be examined in labs. He made one bogey all weekend when there was guys that started. I mean, Max Homa, I think, fired 65 on Thursday and proceeded to shoot like 15 over the last 3 days. And I don't know how many examples of that there were this weekend where you saw a guy start off with a great round on Thursday. I mean, Xander Schauffele was in contention, finished 4 over. There's so many good guys at the bottom of this leaderboard. Michael Kim tweeted about Saturday. He goes, "This was just not a fun course." I think he bogeyed like 3 of the first 4, and he was like, "I legitimately thought I wouldn't break 85." Like he was like, "This course is just so fucking hard, especially because it firmed out. It was wet, and then it firmed out over the weekend." But and so this is another quick storyline that I want to talk about. Um, where the hell is everybody else? Like, where is Ludwig Aubert? Where is I give Xander somewhat of a pass because he's hurt, but where is Colin Morikawa? Where is any dude on the PGA Tour? Who's gonna like? Is Ben Griffin the guy pushing Scotty? And obviously he was this week, but I don't think he's that guy going forward. Who is going to be that guy that it is just such a steep drop off from Scotty to anybody else that I think it's honestly more. I don't want to say that. I was going to say it was more of an indictment on everyone else than it is. I don't want to discredit Scotty's greatness, but who's going to show up and at least give Scotty a run for his money, on a consistent basis? Not a one hit winner here or there. Is anybody going to compete? Like Sam Burns, Patrick Cantlay, fucking those guys haven't won. I mean, Batia played well up until the weekend, but then you look down the list and you're like, I mean, Victor Hovland has had a tough year. Xander Schauffele's been
Morikawa,
hurt.
another tough year.
Yeah,
Shane Lowry was firmly in there and shoots 78 today or
yeah,
77 today. It shot like over 2 or 3 over par yesterday. Jordan Spieth's been kind of fucking hanging around. But yeah, it's funny when you look at the greatness of Scotty because it's Scotty Scheffler winning. And then each week he wins, there's like 7 different dudes that maybe gave him a slight run for his money for 2 to 3 holes. I mean, in the PGA Championship, John Rahm and Bryson,
Yeah.
2 live players, but at the same time, they were tickling it. They were coming up and they were making it seem like it was close for a while. And then he just opens the door a little bit and slams it completely shut on everyone else in the world. And
Yeah.
like you said, I mean, a lot of these guys are quote unquote stepping up, but he's so far up the stairs already that one step up for these guys or one good tournament for these guys is still not enough to be in his stratosphere.
Yeah.
And
I
I mean,
mean,
I'm just double wrister in the guy, but like, holy cow, he just
100%.
you just know what's gonna happen. I just saw a funny like a kind of a joke tweet, but it was like pretty soon Scottie Scheffler is gonna be minus 1,000 to win a golf tournament.
Yeah. It is pretty hard to make odds for this guy at this point. I would contend, and I don't think it's a hot take. He's about 3 steps down from Scottie, but I'd say Sepp Straka is probably the second most consistent guy on tour right now, where he has won multiple times and it feels like he can go out. And he actually, ironically enough, plays a pretty similar game to Scottie. Neither of them are super long. They're both super consistent ball strikers. They're good around the greens. They're solid putters. They don't do anything. They don't have any glaring weakness, but they also don't jump off the page at you. I mean, Scottie's iron game, Scottie's short game, I would say is a level or 2 up from Sepp, but Sepp is probably the next guy on on that list where if I were to pick anybody head to head against Scottie right now, I would probably have to say for 4 rounds, you know what you're getting with Sepp Straka versus pretty much anyone else on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, well, and shout out Sepp for hitting my plus 650 top fiver bet. Big time weekend for the man from Austria out there.
That
And
covered all of our units, didn't it? That got us a little in the positive.
Yeah, we were a plus 1.5 units this week.
Yeah.
But dude, look, I don't know how many more storylines you've got from this week, but looking just forward, because I'm kind of trying to figure out the schedule and how many more tournaments Scottie's going to win this year. We talked about it a couple pods ago. What a good stretch we're still in. We've got the Canadian Open this coming weekend, then the US Open, then the Travelers. And then it goes to the Rocket Mortgage, John Deere's, and then Scottish, and then Barracuda, and then the Open. But right now we are in make hay while the sun shining on the we're in the golden era of the PGA Tour right now.
Yeah, we're in the shining part of this schedule.
I saw my neighbor today, one that I don't talk to a lot, and he was outside fucking weed whacking his front lawn, which is not grass; it's just weed whacking the whole thing.
Your next door neighbor?
Yeah, not Aaron, but the other guy.
Oh, okay.
And he's weed whacking and like hitting sticks and going like, oh fuck, and just like doing all this shit. But I went to throw my trash out and he goes, oh man, he was like, how you doing, man? And I was like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. And he's given me shit before for like changing out my flags from like Nuggets or Avs on my house to Broncos. And he like before last year when the Broncos were kind of a joke, he would give me shit for changing a Broncos flag. But I was like, oh, I'm doing good, man. How are you? He's like, oh, I'm just being all fucking domesticated and fucking boring out here. Domesticated and suburban out here fucking weeding my front lawn. He's like, we're in the dead portion of the schedule. Avs are out. He's like, no hockey, no basketball. I'm just bored as shit. I was like, what about golf? He's like, oh, fuck golf. I'm like, we're in the golden era of golf right now, Pally. We got the US Open in 2 weeks. We got RBC Canadian. We got the Travelers. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it was lost on him. I just went back inside.
That is pretty funny. Tell him to fucking fix up his house and his car. How about that? Yeah, now you got plenty of time to fucking get your life in order, Pally. One other storyline from this week was Jordan Spieth almost decapitating that entire group of people to the right of that hole that he ended up making par on. But I just wanted to talk about that real quick because we see it week in and week out. People just getting way too close. And of all people, if you put any PGA Tour guy in that situation, Jordan Spieth is the last one. If it's Jordan Spieth, I'm standing behind him. Like I've been hit in the face with a golf ball before, so I have a little PTSD on that. But if you had to take any dude's ball striking on the PGA Tour that you don't trust as far as you can throw, it's fucking Jordan Spieth. Like he's got the ball above his feet coming out of the rough. The rough is very thick, by the way, but he just squirts one out fucking low and right and almost takes off about 20 people's heads. It was legit. And the dude in front, like, it's natural selection. I tweeted this from our BD account, but it is natural selection at its finest, because if you're gonna fucking stand there, you deserve whatever's coming to you. Like, it is truly insane that the PGA Tour does not step in and back these people off more, because they were probably the equivalent of the right edge of the green, relative to where Jordan Spieth was hitting a golf ball. So you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Yeah, did you see the other good Jordan Spieth moment we got yesterday? I believe it was yesterday, where he took his shoes off and was going to go hit this ball that was almost in the water, and he goes, "Michael," to his caddy.
Oh yeah, he's like,
how close is the front of the green? He goes, 263. He's got his shoes off, socks off, pants rolled up. He just fucking bails, picks his ball up, throws it out in the fairway, out in the rough, and is like, "No, I'm just going to try to hit 5 wood," and then he fucking sprays that absolute miles right into more trees. But dude, he's a whole ass experience tonight.
Another good Jordan Spieth moment. Did you see when he was talking to Michael, who just Michael he probably feels like he just hung out with his wife for 4 days straight when he gets done with Jordan. Like, his wife is Michael Greller's wife has got to give him a minute when he gets home, because Jordan talks more than just about he talks more than he make me seem quiet on the golf course. But did you hear where Jordan goes, "I've been just hitting good shots and just keep getting boned"? Did you hear him say that? That was a fucking great moment. I was like, I've said that 8 million times. So that was another Jordan.
Who thought the greatest hot mic of the PGA Tour season would be Ben Griffin saying, "I'm gonna kill myself"?
I was literally gonna bring that up after he hit the KMS button, dude. He was like, you're lying if you tell me you haven't said it on a golf course before. Like, and I think it was like Zaire Golf tweeted this from a random dude who took his girlfriend out on the course a couple months ago, and she was like, it was just a hot mic, and the boyfriend shanks on. He's like, "I'm gonna kill myself," and she's like, "Oh, we don't say that." Like, everybody has said that at one point or the other, and I hope we don't get shadow banned for saying that. The KMS, but absolutely the best. Like, when I heard that, I was like, "Fuck yeah, Ben!" And that is the last guy you think that would come out of his mouth. Like, I did not expect he had that in him, but it was so good, dude. I was pissing my, like, when somebody goes hot mic Ben Griffin, I thought he's gonna be like, "Oh, fudge," or some shit like that.
Yeah. Oh, darn it.
I was like, "Oh my God, Ben, I didn't know you fucking had that in you, dude. Good on you, brother."
Dude, I'm telling you, golf is by far the most egregious sport for cursing and foul language and just the egregious shit that's said. And I think
which is ironic because it's the most like buttoned up, you can't say that kind of thing on TV type of sport, where if you hear somebody yell a cuss word on a football field, you're like, they're in the midst of battle right now. But little do they know that Ben Griffin hitting one out of the rough at Muirfield is a bigger battle than fucking Derrick Henry coming over the middle. He's like, "I'm gonna kill myself." Oh my God. And the best part is it wasn't even that bad of a shot.
I cannot keep it.
It was just in the right rough. He just pulls it. He pulls it into the left rough, short of the green. And it was so quick too, dude. And how many times in your life have you just hit a shot and like it's hardly left the club face? You're like, "Kill myself." Like, that is where your mind immediately goes. So,
oh, dude, because when you sent that to me, I didn't hear it on the first play because I was at the
baseball game.
I've got it like up my ear trying to hear what he said, and then he did.
Too.
I absolutely fell on the ground. I can't even keep control of myself now, and this has been 2 hours of me watching it over and over again. And it's Ben Griffin, dude, him and his aviators and just being so chill and being such a good dude. And
just knowing
dude.
the kind of mental battle he was facing out there at Muirfield, and Scottie's just making 14 straight pars, and Ben knows he makes one mistake, and he's like, "It's fucking over, dude."
Yeah. Oh fuck. That's good.
Wow, that was an all-time moment. Well, and Ben Griffin did make himself. I think he made more this week finishing second than he made during his win. Did he just win last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he made 1.8 or 1.9 winning last week, and he made over 2 this week, finishing solo second. So that was a great paycheck for him. He's about as far away from mortgages as he possibly could be right now. But what a moment.
Yeah, 2.2 even this week.
And okay. And I do think if this isn't even a hot take, if Ben Griffin keeps a little bit of momentum, he doesn't even have to win again. But if he keeps on this path, he will be on the Ryder Cup team. Like, I'm not saying that's the fucking all-star, that's not that impressive, but he will be on that team for sure.
Oh, 100%. Oh my God, dude. I just can't stop thinking about it. Do you have anything else you want to get to from this week? Maybe a few guys that missed the cut that are a little shocking.
Oh God, I just touched my eyes. I think I had my hand in my can of Zins and just burned the fuck out of my eyes. Wow, that's
Aaron Rye, your pick. Terrible week for him, 9 over. I mean, Cam Davis, 12 over. Glover, terrible week. Brian Harmon, terrible week.
Hideki Matsuyama's been very cold. Very, very cold lately. He is not doing so well. Oh, it feels like I put icy hot in my eye. This is I feel like Max Homa is on the verge of a breakthrough. Okay. He's thrown out. Okay. Who used to do that to us? Bob Burke.
Okay.
That's Bob. Okay. After everything.
I run my Tacoma through my own garage. Okay.
Drink 2 IPAs and whiskey throttle it through my garage door. Okay. I hope nobody watches this because I hope none of I mean, whatever. Fuck it. I don't even care at this point. He sucked. Max Homa has put one good round together in like the last 4 events. And eventually he's going to put 2 and 3 and maybe 4. He will win again. I feel good about saying that. Wyndham Clark has also struggled mightily. Like, if he's on this Ryder Cup team, unless he turns it around, that is going to be. I don't think Keegan's going to go old boys club on Wyndham and let him in, because he's playing like a dog's ass right now.
Yeah, and he's acting like one too. He's shaving.
Well, that's pretty consistent. That's just
backwards acting. On top of playing,
his acting is more consistent than his golf game. He always acts like a jackass. He just plays good golf sometimes.
Yeah.
So
which is acceptable when you're winning a U.S. Open at a fucking pitch and putt LA Country Club. But when you fucking actually have to play these tough courses and you're shooting 75 and blowing holes through the fucking hole signs, then you can't really get away
through
with
the
that.
T-Mobile, your sponsor signs, fucking sending your golf club the head of your driver through that sign. Last stat on Scottie Scheffler here. Scottie's last 72 starts since his first win. 62 top 25s, 86%. 51 top 10s, 71%. So think about that. If you bet on Scottie every week, and he's definitely, I take that back. Top 10, he's been minus money quite a bit lately. But 71% and 16 wins, which is 22.2%. So Tiger's career win rate was 21.7. So, but that also involves Tiger's later years where he was fucking shanking it off the toe of the golf club at the Waste Management, coming back way too early, injuries, this, that, and the other. But
no, he shanked it at the Genesis, didn't he?
No, dude. He withdrew after like 6 holes at the Waste Management one year. Like, he could not chip it onto the green. I remember he was on like the 6th hole, 10 yards off the green, and fucking hit it dead right twice, and I think he just walked off the course at that point. Like, oh, I think I just reactivated my hammy. Like, I think that was my glutes aren't firing week. I think I shank a couple chips, and all of a sudden my glutes just aren't firing this week. So, oh, dude, we kind of got the sillies at this point. It's pretty fucking good. What about the U.S. Women's Open? Can you tell me who won that?
No. Are you looking for an actual answer? Or are you gonna just come up with it here?
I'm gonna come up with it. It was I think a lady from Denmark. I think her U.S. Women's Open.
Maja Stark. Nelly
Yeah, I think
Korda with the T2.
I think it's Maya actually. Now that you say that, because she's from, is it Swedish? She's a Swede, so I would assume that the J is. I hope I hear her name said, and we can clip you saying Maja Stark.
I wanted to say Maya, but that sounded very
Like you're just
very.
Oh wait, what? Here's her video right here.
Hey everyone, Maya Stark here.
It's Maya.
Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it. Charlie Hole with a top 12.
Okay. I mean, so I just more want to talk about. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't fucking watch a single hole of it. But I did see the lady yesterday. Did you see her drive the green and end up making double bogey?
No.
She drove the green, had 30 feet for eagle, putts it like 50 yards off the green into the rough, and ends up making double bogey. Like,
oh my
talk
God.
about
well,
a
this is an
fucking
Aaron Hills that can happen. Aaron Hills,
Yeah,
that
well,
can definitely happen.
And I think that Aaron Hills has taken quite a bit of shit. Everybody thinks they trick it up a little too much, which it did look pretty. Here's a good buzzword. It did look pretty borderline on Saturday. It was fucking crazy. Like, and honestly, when I watched that girl hit that putt, I don't even want to say her name because, and I don't know her name if I'm being real, but I don't want to give her that neg pub. But right when she hit it, I'm like, oh God, she killed that thing. Like, it was not like it. Oh God, it was not that close, but then it was close to stopping on the fringe, and then it legit rolled another 60 yards. Like, I think at that point, I'd be like, my glutes aren't firing today. I gotta walk. I'm walking. That's brutal. Miguel Angel Jimenez won again on the Champions Tour, 16th time I think he's won. 61 years old, the mechanic, just a classic dude. Timeless golf game.
Him and Angel Cabrera just fucking battle of the old men.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jimenez has a little bit more bedside manner than Cabrera. But yeah, same idea. They're both old and they're both still fucking gamers. They just get the ball in the hole.
Well, everybody on that tour is a gamer. And
that's true. I love watching a wily old veteran fucking get it done. I'm starting to become a boomer because I just love watching an old dude fucking play good golf. I'm like, that shit's impressive. Doesn't that get you going a little bit? Like when I watch somebody in their 60s or 70s fire like anything like close to par, I'm like, this guy needs a book written about him. Like, who the fuck is this dude? Like Jim Woolard, the dude that used to be a member at our course, he actually played at University of Houston back in his day. Like, fucking gamer. I've never seen a worse putter in my life. But that guy hits the ball on a string still to this day. Like, dude, we might play with him at some point in the member guest.
Dude, that reminds me though. I played with an older couple at Inverness last Wednesday, and there's chicks like third or fourth round, and the guy was just this most positive, upbeat dude, and he was just helping her a ton. And I found out like 5 holes later he played at UC Irvine. He's playing with the rental clubs. He birdies the first hole, just hits it right in the middle. He has no clue where he's going. I'm like directing him on where the course is. Hits it on the green.
Was he a hotel guest or what?
Yeah, he was just him and
how old was he?
Wife, probably mid-60s, early 60s.
Oh, okay, so older dude.
Yeah, him and his wife were there for his daughter's pole vaulting championship was in Pueblo. So they came up to Denver at State of Inverness before they flew out of DIA back to Kentucky where they were from.
Got you.
And birdies the first hole, hits it in the water on the second hole, still makes 5. Hits it in the water on the third hole, still makes 4. I think he shot like 1 or 2 over. And
just
talk about
rental set.
yeah, and then I found out he played at UC Irvine, but he was impressed with me, which made me feel good because I was hitting some good golf shots. But yeah,
Hell
like,
yeah.
just old dude, super positive, super upbeat, felt like he was on cocaine a little bit, but he was awesome. And he just was batting it around and just really good. And I was like, oh, he's like, he birdied the first hole. He's like, oh, like, it's like, oh, that's weird. His like wife's
You're like,
putting for like 7.
Okay, Carl Smith.
And yeah, and she's like picked it up like 3 different times, which was great. Like I didn't what I was really trying to do is they wanted me to play ahead, and I would have had to been by myself and behind a bunch of groups. So I was like, no, I'll play with you guys. Like I made it very obvious that I wasn't watching her swing. Like I was walking. So I was just like trying to be way out of the way. But yeah, he was an absolute gamer. And just hitting it, every tee shot he hit was just fucking down the dick. I'd tell him an exact line, and he'd hit like a 5-yard draw right there. Rental clubs. I was thoroughly impressed with his game.
That might be when you peak as a golfer, when you get to like your 40s or 50s and you just can't swing that hard and you straighten it out, but you still have the distance. And maybe you
That'd
find
mean
a
I was a
short
good
game.
putter. Yeah, I mean I was a good putter / chipper. Yeah, that might not happen.
Also, we gotta talk about Ben Griffin's glasses too, because that he has a floater problem, and so I guess he just does better when it's dark out. And that's kind of it makes me what was it in Step Brothers when the blind guy's the neighbor and the German Shepherd like is fucking pulling this guy around? He's like, cinnamon, like that's Ben Griffin out on the golf course, like the darkest fucking sunglasses, like probably with like a walking stick just because he can't fucking see a thing out there just to keep his floaters down. But that's what it reminds me of, like some that's pretty fucked up. But he's like, the darker it is, I'm like, yeah, he's like, I can't see the floaters as much. I'm like, you can't see anything as much, bro. You just want it is he's just closing his eyes and fucking hitting it. Like, good on him, dude. You're playing like, remember that punter from USC who was blind and now he plays really good golf?
He was a long snapper, but yes.
Okay, long snapper punter. He's a great golfer now. And his caddy legit lines him up and everything, like tells him where to aim. Well, physically shows him where to aim, but maybe that's Ben Griffin in 5 years. Like I'm just making a joke, but he said he had to get surgery because I guess his retina was becoming cinnamon. Get over here, cinnamon. I guess his retina was becoming detached from Spencer's got the like 4 beer fucking giggles at this point. I guess he had to have legit eye surgery, so I'm not making a joke about the dude. I'm really happy for his good golf. Jesus Christ. Fucking Spencer's over here just losing his mind. Well, okay, should we do you have a Mulligan Monday or a Mulligan Sunday, and then we can wrap this puppy up?
Oh, you go first if you got one, and I'll follow it up.
Yeah, well, without getting too graphic, I clogged the toilet at the hotel this week, and I had to go. That was one of my great moral dilemmas that I've had in quite a while, because you just can't leave that for somebody else. Like I just kidding. I debated even telling it, but I'm like, I have to say it. You know, it's too fucking funny not to say it. But I was like, do I just leave like $20? What's equivalent to unclogging a toilet? Like $20? Does that cover it? Like, but I went to the fucking lady in the hallway, and I made sure nobody else was in the hallway. Just so nobody could hear me fucking asking for a plunger. But that was not my finest moment. I haven't been through that since I was in like middle school, so it was just a rough scene for me. I didn't even eat that much. Like it was probably just the extracurriculars that got to me that really ruined my weekend. So, but shout out Oliver, shout out Sydney. We were at their wedding this weekend. It was a blast. Congratulations to them. They're now in Belize on their honeymoon. So
yeah, well, mine actually has to do with that too. I haven't told my wife this, but so I was taking a shower and he was down hanging out with me at one of these mornings, and my beard thing where it's like sharp and you're supposed to like put it on your place your face and hair where there's not hair.
What are you talking about?
Okay, like a beard growth razor. Have you ever seen those? The rollers.
Oh, a roller. Yeah.
A roller where it's like puts holes in your face, so then you're supposed to grow hair there. So that dropped in the toilet the other day when Sawyer and I were in there, and I was like, oh, like there was some piss in there, so I didn't want to grab it with the piss in there. So I was like, dude, let's just flush the toilet, and then I'll grab the thing out when it spins around. It fucking went down the toilet, dude. And so I just don't know what's gonna happen. I haven't said anything. Nothing's happened, but there is a full-on roller in my pipes. Not my house, not my problem, but yeah, it's fucking there. And I keep I think about
owning
it
a
like
rental. It's just you never know what's gonna fucking make
I think
it down
about it
the
like once a
toilet.
day, and I just like get scaries, and then I just stop thinking about it.
Like if Kylie's like, we need to talk, you're like, it's the roller in the toilet, isn't it? Like that's the first thing that's gonna come to your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah, I've tried to bring it up multiple times, and I just couldn't get myself to do it. I just hope we have no plumbing issues, and then we can just move out, and I can forget about it forever.
Yeah, like 5 years down the road, they have to trench through the entire neighborhood because somebody dropped a fucking hair roller, an appliance down the fucking bathroom's toilet.
Exactly.
Like wild, but
fuck.
happens to the best of us. I wouldn't want to reach.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd go down the pipe, dude. I thought it would just spin around the top and stay up there, and I could snatch it with the clean water.
But also low key, are you not with the clean water? Oh, you should have just reached in there, but. Are you not a flush when you piss type of guy? Are you yellow mellow type?
Well, sometimes when I'm showering, if I just piss and then I don't flush and then I shower and then I get back out and then.
You don't piss in the shower?
No, I don't like it.
Okay, fair enough. To each their own.
Yeah, I don't like pissing on my own feet. Thank you.
But then it just washes right off, dude. It's basically like reaching in the toilet. You have the toilet water and you have your own piss, and they're both hitting at the same time.
I don't know. Not for me.
You are kind of a germaphobe. We'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to go any deeper. Do you have anything else? Are you just guys?
No, that's it.
I can't even talk at this point. So
we'll probably have a pod at some point this week. Talk about the Canadian Open. We may not actually. I don't know. But the U.S. Open's
playing golf
next week.
I'm playing golf 3 times this week. I'm playing Monday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Let's go.
And then we're going to the beach next weekend. So I'm on a heater of a week.
A heater of a week for Migsy. I will not be. I will be in Chicago running a golf tournament on Friday morning. Looking forward to that. But we'll be back at some point, probably before the U.S. Open, with a preview of that bad boy.
Scottie Scheffler we'll have at least a couple epis before the U.S. Open.
Yeah, we maybe even do an episode together when I'm in Philly / New Jersey next weekend. We'll figure that out. But thank you for tuning in. Anybody that did tune in to the YouTube, give us a thumbs up on your way out. Follow us on all the socials at Big Drive Energy Golf on Instagram. We'll be back sometime next week to talk about a future Scottie win at the U.S. Open. Have yourself a great rest of your Sunday, a great start to your June, and we will talk to you then. Peace.